Those are EV Sentry 500s. Lanois loves them too. He would double stack them. So he built like a line array with them, and then Glenn loves them and Bob loves them. They're completely redone. I think Stanton Audio, good recoder in Toronto, did them, and then he did the new diaphragms, and I don't know if he did the crossovers, but they're cool. They're big. My friend calls them the Flintstone speakers. Where'd you get your speaker monitor model? Flintstones? Like they're very bam big, monolithic, but they're cool. They'll, you know, I would almost rather have some of these old speakers in the 80s and 90s than Focal or Barefoots for $10,000 with an 8 tweeter and a mid and some Class D China amps. I don't get the 10 grand. It's like, yeah, good margin. Way to go. But actually, like I got a pair of those huge JBL Uris 813s I need to recone. They're mammoth. They're yesterday's standard for studio monitors. 215s, 2-inch horn, JBL. Way more impressive than a pair of Barefoots. You know, we're a lot of these $8,000 to $10,000 speakers. I will give thumbs up to ATC, but I can't afford them right now. I don't know what it stands for, but it's British monitors that are just slamming. They're all handmade drivers, beautiful amps, not Class D amps. I think they're Class AB amps, and they're just fantastic, especially when you get into the ones that are bigger with the 10 or 8 or 10 and up, the 12s, the 15s, just unbelievable. Best listening experience I've ever had, ATC. But there's, I don't know, monitors are, studio monitors are, it's a fashion trend, and it's worse than it's ever been. And there's, you know, you'll still see the nasty 10s, the Yamaha NS10. A lot of people, including me, really like them. And a lot of people don't get it, and they're not engineers, and maybe shouldn't be either. But the idea is that you're using your nasty 10, your NS10 monitor, to be a window of Joe average, and getting something that isn't so great or pleasant. So you really have to sort out your mids and your masking frequencies in the mids. And honestly, if you actually pull it off in your nasty 10s, the mix really translates, and that was the whole point. Nile Rodgers was one of the innovators of, you know, from Bowie, like Let's Dance and a million other great records. But he was one of the guys that started using them. I'd love to go into that story. I think it was sort of an East Coast thing, New York. But NS10s, the little white woofer and tweeter and nasty 10s, little harsh, pretty boxy, but if you use them and get them and can make your stuff sound like something, you're cooking with gas. Where a lot of the new stuff is so nice sounding, and it is really revealing its full spectrum. These speakers are not all the way up, but as some of my friends, Glenn Marshall would include, what the hell are you doing up there anyway? And it's funny, as we try to push the envelope to race for the top using something like this, the TASCAM DSD recorder, DA3000 it's called. I love it. The Lanois got Glenn into it and me into it, and it's a fucking great recorder, and I like recording full DSD, full frame kind of. It's like HD 12K. And sounds amazing, but then we're at a race to the bottom with people that listen to shit on phone, you know, on phones, and people that listen to their music on a phone or a sound bar. It's just an epic failure of, it's a crisis of bad listening I think we're in. And I hope people get back the 80s college dorm speakers and refoam them and rock shit with a nice old Marantz amp or something, because they just don't get it and they don't know what they're missing. It's pathetic and sad. The millennials some are figuring it out, but there's an epidemic of bad listening and no clue what's really in the spectrum. So people can hate on me, and frankly, go f yourself, because you listen to your music on a phone and it's insulting to sound engineers. So GFY, too bad, so sad. But we push our envelope and go to DSD through beautiful analog consoles and spiffy converters, and then you listen through your Jiffy phone popcorn plate tinfoil speaker that's trying to hype low end, and there is none. It's So why are we here with all this console? I guess you might as well mix in the box because the deaf are listening.
What the bitch? You're a piece of shit. I mean, you're just a goddamn motherfucker.